the Tonight Show tonight, we got Kevin Hart, we got The Rock, we got a couple of break dancers, we got some idiots breaking bottles over the head, and a bunch of other cool things. Come on down, stay tuned, because later on tonight, we're just gonna have a blast.
Welcome to another episode of Style of Boogie.
I mean, that he does, what is it called? Fire what?
It's called Rope Dart.
Rope Dart. And he is also one of the new members of Hidden Faces officially. So we take pride in interviewing people like this. He's very talented, multi-talented, doesn't realize it, you know. Bro, the kid does a bunch of shit. We got to get him out there, man.
Absolutely.
So why'd you want to bring him up here, bro? He's your nephew too at the same time. So that helps.
He is my nephew.
He paid us a couple dollars and he's on.
He is my nephew.
Shh, don't tell nobody.
He is my nephew. Jonathan Sancho, that's my brother's son right there, man. Thank you for coming on Style of Boogie.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you so much.
One of the things that I immediately noticed was that you are very talented, man. And the whole rope dart thing, that is something unique within itself. But I also noticed a few other talents. You know, I noticed you have a very good voice, very good character, and you know, and I can tell you can sing.
Thank you.
And play the guitar too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do play the guitar.
A lot of stuff going on.
You do play the guitar?
Yes, I do. I've been playing guitars since I was about like 12, 13 years old.
Are you any good?
Yeah, I'm pretty decent. I can't toot my own horn, but you know. I've been doing it around the same time I've been doing martial arts. So music and martial arts have been hand in hand for me, you know.
So I got a good sparring partner next time I want to fight.
There you go, yeah.
Cheers, nigga.
So let's start with the dart first, okay? When did you start? Because this is unique. I rarely see it.
So this is the true story about how I started doing rope dart. I lived in Minnesota for about 4 years. It sucked, but a couple of good things came out of it. One of my best friend, Chaz, he does something called poi. Now, him and his friends were doing it on fire at my party. I had a backyard. These guys were going in. They're doing all this fire stuff.
With the rope and ball?
Yeah, but there are two little ones like that. And then my friend Chaz pulled out this big old thing called a monkey's fist. And he started it up and flame came on and goddamn, this huge ball of flame was just going off. And I saw him doing that, and I'm tripping on like 2-3 hits of mushrooms. It's a good party. And I looked, and I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do.
Does it derive from martial arts?
Yeah, it does.
Fireball.
Well, I was already on the mushrooms, but the fireball, I saw that, and for days, I'm sitting around the house, twirling my fucking keychain around, twirling everything around. And
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw it, like really saw it, I was watching a Kung Fu movie.
Well, I've seen it, that's right. You know, the Kung Fu movies are the stuff.
I've seen it in a Kung Fu movie.
But not as a dance.
Yeah,
in the Kung Fu movie, they use a chain.
A chain.
Yeah, and
with the sword.
I saw it, and I saw Shanghai Noon. And Jackie Chan does it with a horseshoe and a rope. And when I saw that, I was like, yes, that's what I'm learning how to do.
But wait a second, so no one did it with a rope as long as you do it? It was a shorter rope?
No. They're different kinds because I do two traditional styles of wushu. One is called the meteor hammer, where it's a solid steel ball. All right, and then the other one is a rope dart, and it's a dart at the end of the rope. Now, the meteor hammer uses a 9-foot rope, and the rope dart, you can go from 9 feet all the way up to 16. Wow. So imagine 16 feet, and its purpose was to ward off enemies, or if there was a good amount of enemies, I can hit you from afar and keep defending myself.
What are you using? What's the length?
The length that I use is about 14.5 feet.
Yeah, it's long.
And my practice one is 16 feet.
And you extend it, I see.
I extend it out, and it's for good reasons, because it gives me time to like move, calculate the next move, and honestly, I was speaking to one of my generals here, and he was asking me like, so like, do you do this to hurt people? Do you do? And no, it's
just a form of dance.
It's therapy.
Yeah.
For me, it's therapy, but like it's more of a, if I wanted to, I can. You know, but I don't see myself doing it. I don't see myself. The only person I've hurt is myself.
But why when we were doing it today, why didn't you hurt tiny because we don't like that guy.
Well, I got close to his nuts. You told me to get close to him, so
we really don't like that
I
guy.
got as close as I could, but I didn't want to hit him. If I would have, I know the man, still needs to use his, his
right.
tools. So.
He's a child eventually.
Yeah. So
you
I
want
didn't.
a tiny.
Yeah,
Well, let me ask you
I didn't
something.
want
Do you
that
see yourself doing something with this, or is it just a hobby?
I've actually done things with it. I've done a couple of videos with it. I have a YouTube channel as well too, Sancho the Grey Jedi.
The Grey Jedi?
The Grey Jedi.
Or the Grey Jedi?
Yeah, I'm a huge.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
Grey.
you said great. I was
Yeah.
looking great.
Yeah,
I'm
Or Grey.
Yep.
Why Grey?
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Big Star Wars fan, and you know how they have like the Jedi and the Sith. Well, the mix of that is the Grey Jedi. It's the guy who knows the light and the dark, and just chooses to stick to the middle path, the righteous path.
I would have never thought of that.
Yep. I'm a nerd. I'm an
Maybe
ill
I would have
nerd.
had a mushroom.
Yep.
Yeah, but ironically, right? He said, "Yo, let's interview, John, Sancho." I'm like, every time I say
Grey
Sancho,
Jedi, the Grey
I want to
Jedi.
wear a Mexican hat with two guns and go, but because it's
Bing,
kind of
bing,
weird.
bing.
But now you're a member of my society,
Yes, sir.
and going forward, bro, you got to come out with some of this good stuff. Because, bro, for Halloween he dressed as Macho Man. He got it down packed.
Oh yeah.
He's got Sean Connery, right?
Yes, man.
He's got so many different characters.
I was waiting for Alex Trebek to die, and now he finally did. We meet again, Mr. Trebek.
I got
It's too soon, I'm sorry.
I got some really good plans, man, going forward with some stuff, some comedic
And I
stuff.
cannot wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait.
I just, anyway, we'll talk about that later.
He's connected with. He did an interview. What was the comedian name? He's a very famous comedian, passed away recently.
But he wasn't really a comedian. You talking about Danny Aiello?
Yeah, he was a comic.
Danny Aiello was a
wasn't a comedian.
great actor,
Yeah,
great
he was a
man.
comedian.
Yeah.
too.
Nah, he played mostly mobster.
Yeah, he's a mobster. He was a wise
He
guy.
wasn't a, he
Yeah.
wasn't a
But
comedian.
did he have a comic?
Well, he had
Restaurant, bar or something?
in Hoboken, in Tutto de Pasta, he had his own comedy night.
Yep.
But right, he had a comedy night
Yeah.
where he allowed new up and coming comedians to perform, and that was in Hoboken. I went to his show several times in Tutto
I
Pasta.
saw the interview. It was a great interview.
Yeah, I interviewed Danny Aiello.
Nice.
Yeah, when I was working for Hollywood on the Run.
He's a good guy too.
He's
Really good.
real, and he's a tall fucking guy. Well, was a tall guy, and believe it or not, he was a real gangster.
Nice.
Off camera, the guy was a real gay. He was a real tough guy. And he wasn't that pussy on being on camera. Off camera, he was a tough guy. Even up until the older age, the guy was a tough guy, bro. Tough character.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
But so what are we gonna do with this guy, man?
Well, I like to see some more, video of him with the robe, and different. Maybe we can put him top of the Empire State Building, like King Kong, dress him up like King Kong, and he can knock the planes down,
That might work.
What is your future plans, man?
So I also do clothing as well too. I have 2 clothing lines. I started working with a clothing line.
PRAF.
Yep, punk rock as fuck. PRAF Customs. I got
He's got nice stuff.
Yeah, I got.
Dude, I finally saw your stuff.
I love the jackets.
I was
They're
impressed, bro.
Yeah.
I got my
Some cool stuff.
I got my start from my really good friend and my business partner George Rosa. He owns Scumbags and Superstars. I've been co-owner of Scumbags and Superstars now with him for about like 5-6 years now, and it's been going really well. We used to have a storefront. Before COVID, we got rid of the storefront because it was better for us to be out on the road. And it was like being an old 80s rock band. It felt great.
Even pop-up shops.
And that's what we did. We all through 2018, 2019, we were like Motley Crue. We did like 18 cities one year. We did 6 cities last year, and it was great. We had a blast, made good money, met a lot of good friends, and had a great time doing it. And I'm hoping after COVID and everything, we could do it all again. And I get to bring my art and my mass,
Could I ask you
awesomeness
something?
to everybody else.
Because I know you promote PRAF AF, which is punk rock as fuck.
Yep.
But is that community still alive, bro?
There's a big punk community now, but now it's more of a lot of these guys are getting older.
Right, that's in the 80s and 90s community.
Yeah, but now these guys are doing stuff for the younger kids because there's shows that still go on now. There's shows that they do, free shows in Tompkins Square Park, which is really good, and they don't charge any cover for it. You know, they do free shows here in Brooklyn as well too. I know they have a community center in the Lower East Side that they let kids, you know, do free recording if they're any good.
Yeah, but going forward, how do you profit off of this, or is it just something that you're just doing it out of the love?
No, I fell in love with this years ago. This is my family. This is my style. This is my.
But how do you
life.
profit off of it if it's not as big as it used to be?
Honestly, and I'll be very, very frank with it. There's a new style coming up. There's a new.
I was just gonna say.
There's
Are you okay with the transition?
I actually am.
Right.
Because that's the way, you know, it was back in you guys' day. Back in the day, you know, it was like the punks, the hip hop kids. You know, like all you guys used to hang out, and you guys.
Skinheads, ska.
Yeah, skinheads, everything. Everybody had kind of the similar style, and now it's coming back to that, where you know I don't even have any white kids telling me nice jacket. I got all the brothers and the Latinos going, hey man, that's a dope jacket. What's up, you know? And I love seeing that.
Dude, they are good. You got some good stuff.
You know, and
you got to make me a jacket soon.
Oh, definitely. You know it, Prez. I got you.
You got to make me a jacket soon.
Here, if you want to see the back of my stuff, this is it right here. You know?
And all of this stuff, these are patches? Let me see something.
These are all hand painted, all hand studded. Yep. This jacket was done by.
You painted this?
Yeah, this was all me and my friend George. This was one of the first jackets that we did.
So now, is this freehand or stencil?
This is freehand.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's not fucking freehand.
Yeah, this is all freehand. This is all freehand.
And you did that?
Yep. This was a mix between me and my friend George. We did the studding, we did the patch, like all the studding on the arms, the chest, everything, the back.
I thought this was a jacket with a vest. This is one MC.
This is all one cut. That's it.
I like the graphics.
When you got the jacket, was it already black and blue, or you?
No. I painted everything.
Painted the whole
everything.
This fucking jacket's got to be heavy as hell, right?
No, actually, I have one that's about 25 pounds. I have close to 600 studs.
The hoodie's yours.
I love walking around with a 25-pound jacket.
Yeah, and I'll show you the back of the hoodie.
Oh, scumbags and superstars.
Yep. So, I mean, I like my style because I know for a fact I am wearing everything that I made myself.
Listen, with the interviewing that we do with the different people, I personally believe that you need to link up with guys like Tiny, like Rizzo.
He needs a new wardrobe.
Because these kids, if you look at them, they dress hip-hop-ish but dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? With the black and bro, you need to link up with kids like them and really get your shit going with these kids.
That's actually my new clientele.
Because if you look at Tiny, right? You look at her, right? They almost look like him without all the graphics.
Yes,
Bro,
absolutely.
you need to link up with these kids, man.
That's most of my clientele now.
And you know,
most of my new clientele is all.
A lot of these kids can't afford what you got because I know what your prices are, but something that's simply, you know, maybe a little simpler for them, where they can afford it and get it out because bro, that's the new up and coming stuff, and these are your kids. It ain't punk rock anymore. It's the Liquid Kids and all those other you know things.
Basically, yes.
Dude, I think you need to.
You know, even when I was touring with Dominatrix, I tried to break out a style because Dominatrix was punk. She brought me into the punk crowd. Yeah. But yet her music was accepted in hip hop. So when I danced and performed in her show,
but it was because of that one song.
Yeah.
Dominatrix
She only had one song.
Yeah. So she was one song that made her famous.
She was the one hit.
We performed for her at Union Square at the Underground.
What do you call it? What do you call it? One hit wonder.
One hit wonder.
But she was awesome, and she was being played in all the hip hop clubs. They were being mixed, and so when I toured with her, I wore punk in a hip hop fashion.
Right, you put
almost
your
like these
twist
young.
on it.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do now.
Well, that's what these kids are doing, and that, like I said, that's
Because believe it or
all
not,
my clientele now. All my new clientele is pretty much. I have a kid who's a rapper now, and he's from Philly, and I have a couple of people from Chicago that they're all straight hip hop. Some of them are house heads, some of them are like techno and like trance and stuff. But they're all about this style. Say this straight up. That's not true, because a lot of ska originated from reggae. All right, and a lot of the punks were into ska, and a lot of the original punks were black, skinhead and all, and they were, the originators of ska and originators of, that.
yeah, but the introduction in the streets was not that.
No,
way. Dude, it was nasty. It was skinhead starting fights. Bro, you know how many fucking guys I beat down when I was bouncing? I beat the shit out of a bunch of skinheads.
But it became more
because they
of a
were
racist
nasty
thing.
fucks.
Yeah, it became more of a racist
right. That's what I'm saying. It was
and
racist.
It sucked. Because like even here in New York, because one of my best friends, and this is another thing about the punk community, we're still very strong still to today. Yeah, we got older, but people they got real jobs, but they're still doing stuff in the punk community. And one of them is my best friend, Boogie. Boogie is he's been a bartender for years, but he's also a pastor. He's a punk rock pastor, right? And he has a punk rock church that he used to do every Wednesday. We had a church set up and everything. He'd tell you, about the Lord, and he's very, very about his thing, and if you needed help getting sober, if you needed help out of drugs, he would help you out. He'd, get you that info that you needed. And he's seen kids, I've seen kids, go through that, and he was the one to actually.
But it was aggressive, like Jorge Rosado from Marauder.
Yeah.
So what is that?
So that's New York hardcore. New York hardcore.
That's called New York hardcore?
Yeah. Hardcore.
But that stems from, from the punk to the ska to the punk to that, right?
Well, hardcore is
because they mosh pit.
Yeah, but hardcore is honestly New York, Brooklyn, all of us, we're the originators of it, and hardcore just isn't like it's not like metal music or punk music. Hardcore is also hip hop music, like MOP or like the Locks, things like that, or it could be metal music.
But my
like
point
Anthrax,
was that when we were
like
talking
that.
about the transition of it now and what you could do, the reputation of that was tough.
Yeah.
The reputation was racist, tough. Mosh pitting was a fucking fight. You got in a mosh pit, it wasn't a dance, it was a fight. Dude, when I worked in Webster Hall, you know how many motherfuckers.
No, I've seen mosh pits.
You know how many guys
I've been in mosh pits.
But when I went to
dude, I was
California,
throwing people over the balcony, bro.
When I went to California, all the mosh pit and all that,
Yeah.
majority of them were Mexican.
Yeah.
But they did. Well, that's Cholo City, bro. But in New York, dude, it was primarily white, and then you had your few blacks and the Latinos into it. So I'm surprised that when Jorge started doing it,
well,
I was like, yo.
That was the good thing about the hardcore scene, because that's what I was coming up in, the punk scene, the hardcore scene, and it was mainly Puerto Ricans, Italian kids, black kids, and it was all street kids. It was all these kids that were doing it. Even Jorge knew guys from like Madball, Agnostic Front, the CBGB days.
Front, I remember
and
that.
all those guys, everybody thinks that those guys are, mainly white. No, the lead singer's Cuban.
Jorge's pure Puerto Rican, brother.
Jorge's, Puerto Rican. The guys from Madball, mostly the founding members are Cuban, Puerto Rican. One's Japanese. You got like Puerto Rican dudes like playing metal music. It's the greatest thing. And when I grew up, I was like, damn, I want to do that. I love that. That's that shit right there, man. I get to see people that look just like me kicking ass,
It's I guess it's like rock and roll, because a lot of
just with
old
oomph.
rock and roll bands from the 60s
Yeah.
were Latinos. And,
Yeah.
and they actually changed their names to American names so they can get accepted, because, we were talking late 50s into the early 60s, so they wanted to get accepted into that mainstream, and that's why they did it. But a lot of those bands were actually Spanish. I found out just a few years back.
You got guys now that like you couldn't even tell. Like some of my good friends, like Jorge,
Jorge looks like a white boy.
Yeah, I got one of my
blonde hair, long hair, and he sings like this.
I got another one of my good friends. His name is Danny Diablo. Shout out to DMS and Danny Diablo. Danny Diablo is a Puerto Rican Jew. you know? And he sounds like this. He's always talking like this. Sounds like he smokes like 30, 40 cigars in a day. And he's all about his, you know, Jewish heritage and his Puerto Rican heritage. And he sings in like a heavy metal band. He like spits like ill verses.
He's a punk rock Geraldo.
Something like that, but he does hip hop as well.
You know
too.
what I would
He
like
does
to
lot
do?
of
Could
cool
we
things,
create
so.
a mosh pit? Not as tough as back then, and just throw Tiny in the fucking middle.
Yeah, definitely. I'll throw him around and swing him around, no problem.
And just throw Tiny in the middle of the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Because I really hate
Grab him by
that.
his underwears.
And grab him and give him a wedgie by his
Give him that
underwear.
atomic wedgie and spin him around. Yeah, no problem.
We hate Tiny. We
Tie
hate Tiny.
him up to the rope, man. Tie him to the rope.
Anyway, brother, this is a short sequence.
man.
As you grow, we're gonna follow it. You're down with me now. He's part of my organization, Hidden Faces Society, and he's my man, so he's under me now.
I want-
So he's only going forward, not backwards.
Yeah, I want you to, like, you know, when you got time, break out the guitar, man, and hit us with some lyrics. And let's record that, man.
Next time I come through, I'll do acoustic